Mm. So welcome to the live stream. Welcome
It
to
actually
Vita.
doesn't happen till 10:30. It starts here before it goes.
Oh
out
my,
there.
I'm a minute early.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let the music start,
Right.
like Sunshine said.
Sunshine says do this. Sunshine says do this. Sunshine says do this. Do this.
Take 2 giant steps forward.
Sunshine says do this. Sunshine says do this. Sunshine says do this.
Uh-oh, I lost my visual on you.
Here we go. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. You are beautiful just the way you are. Step into the love. You're illuminated by the glory of God's love. Step into the truth. From within your abundance overflows. Our love can change one life. One life can change the world. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. I am the light of the world. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. So move with me. Step with me. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. I am the light of the world. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. So move with me. Step with me. Step into the light.
Step into the love that's known as Vita Spiritual Learning Center. Just be with that for a second. Vita, life, spiritual learning center, the center of who you are, and step into the light, step into the love. We welcome you today. We're excited. It is already 2022, end of January. I can't believe that it passes so quickly. And what I'd like to do is simply share with you our vision and mission statement and get our voices united in the common unity of love for spiritual living at Vita Center. So please say it with me. If you like, unmute yourself so that your voices can be united, and just say together with your hand on your heart or your centeredness of love. By valuing, together we'll say, by valuing
Valuing,
and empowering all,
we
we
inspire
inspire a fulfilling
fulfilling
and joyous life. Avalar
e
y
potenciar
potenciar todo,
todo,
inspiramos
inspiramos
una
una
vida
vida
plena
plena
y
y
alegre.
alegre.
And I love that our mission statement says, by what we do, it affects everyone, and what everyone does, it affects us. So we value and empower all. And it is with my great pleasure that I am going to invite our friend Gary Takasian to do a meditation and prayer. I'm hearing a little background noise, so if so I'm knowing that hopefully that's not something I need to control in my head, but something we can do with a mute. And we're just gonna let Gary center us in love and have a great time together. And please help me welcome Gary Takasian.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. And the invitation this morning, everyone, is to just simply to relax, to allow yourself to be in that place, that presence of the divine. And perhaps we just pay attention to our body for a moment and notice if there's any tension anywhere, that we just allow that tension to just flow away for right now, to just simply to be in that place of oneness and wholeness. And to know that we are indeed one with the divine. And on this particular day, I want to point out our annual theme, which is living everyday wonder. And it's also our monthly theme this month. And I really particularly like our title for this day, which is Question Everything. And so what I'd like us to do right now is to allow ourselves to be in that place. And I'm going to lead us through several questions. And I'm going to allow us some time in between each one, just a little bit, to be in that question. And so let us begin with this. So, what is the grandest divine idea of my life? What is it? Perhaps we look at it as a purpose, a calling. What are we here to do? What is the grandest divine idea of our life? What is it that we're here to do as one who is one with the divine? What is that grandest divine idea of our individual lives? And as we consider this grand divine idea, what must we do? What is it necessary for us to embrace? What do we need to look at that will empower us? What is that is going to be something new for us to embrace, that will allow us to fulfill this grand divine idea? And as we look at what we must embrace, is there anything in the way of us doing that? Is there something that we may need to release or to let go of that will allow us to empower that grand divine idea? Anything that is just present for us right now that would stand in the way of us achieving and realizing and manifesting that grand divine idea? And so we allow that vision, that grand divine idea with the things that we must embrace, the things that we must release, we allow that to be in our consciousness, in our awareness, that that is the power of the divine moving through and as each and every one of us. So let us take that into our prayer this morning. And what I know is that we indeed are surrounded by this incredible power and presence that we know by many names. You know, we may call it Buddha or Jesus or God or Spirit or Krishna. By whatever name we call it, it is that one singular power in the universe. And the thing that is so amazing about that is that each and every one of us are a part of that divine presence. And as so, we are imbued with all of the great qualities of the divine, the love, the peace, the wisdom, the knowledge. All of those are available to each and every one of us to move forth in our lives. And so what I'm knowing for us this morning is that we take that power, that presence, that divine love, peace, knowledge, wisdom, and we use that to bring this grand divine idea of who we are, each and every one of us. And we bring that creativity to our lives in whatever way manifests for each and every one of us. For each of us are individuals with our own individual creativeness, and yet we are part of that one divine mind. And for me, that is one of the greatest realizations of this teaching of the science of mind, is that we are one and yet we are many, all at the same time. And so right now, I'm just simply going to recognize that and give thanks for knowing that to be the truth of each and every one of us. And as we sit there in a presence of gratitude, I'm now just going to release these words into that creative law of the universe, knowing that it takes that which we put out in our intentions, in our prayers, and it makes them manifest according to what we believe. And so I will simply release those and let them be. And so it is, and now it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Gary. Beautifully done. And as you may have known, what Gary did in part was a visioning for us this morning. So I thank you for that. Well, I have, good morning and welcome. I have a few announcements for you today. Just a reminder that we have Minute Miracles available with a practitioner. We do that immediately after service using the breakout feature in Zoom. So you can be paired up with one of our practitioners and they will know the spiritual truth for you. They will celebrate life in some way or facilitate you in growing and healing in some way. So just let us know at the end of service and we will pair you up and make that so. We always have sacred service opportunities at our community, and at Vita Spiritual Learning Center, we are growing and expanding and transforming what those service opportunities are as we continue both a online presence and grow into a hybrid and in-person presence. There is lots to do as we transform, evolve into our next greater yet to be. So I encourage you just to reach out to us and let us know how you might want to be of service, how you're called. And as part of our spiritual practice, giving thanks, having gratitude, being in appreciation is an important component, and it is that poise that opens. So thanks to our practitioner of the day, Gary Takasian, brilliantly done, appreciate you. Thanks to Reverend Judy for her already brilliant message and knowing it is heartwarming and heartfelt as always. Thank you, Reverend Judy. I want to say thanks to our live stream moderators, and I know for sure Sunny Day is out there looking at the Facebook live stream, so thanks to those folks who check in on our live streams and welcome those folks into our fold, into our community. Give special thanks to our Leadership Council, who is doing yeoman's work and have been for quite some time. Thank you so much for all you do. Thanks to our music team for holding that creative element, for creating the music, recording the music, performing the music. Thanks for all you do. And to all of you for joining us here today, I give great thanks for you to be here. It's especially I'm especially appreciative of this gathering every week, I must tell you. And our next spiritual practice we call giving as a spiritual practice. And there are ways to give. You can send your gift to our post office box, which is at 3350 East 7th Street, box 529. That is in Long Beach, California, 90804. You might use your bill pay service through your bank. There is a link here in the chat to donate. There are also links in the emails and on our website, and that'll take you to a place where you may use your credit card or your debit card to donate. And we are using Zelle, and you can Zelle to this email address, one of our new email addresses at vita@vitaslc.org, or you can Zelle to our phone number, which is also available on our website in the emails. And it becomes a spiritual practice with according to the consciousness with which you give. So if one is giving mindlessly, it doesn't really have much of a spiritual component to it. It still does. But if one is doing this consciously, if one is actually examining the quality or character within that grows or expands or comes to life or comes to light as you are giving, then it becomes a high spiritual practice. So the character or the quality of my giving is one of abundance, of being generous, of feeling a plenty in my life, of feeling a great value in this teaching in our community. And therefore, it's just a natural thing for me to give to this community. So I invite you just to call to heart and mind that feeling, that quality, that character that elevates this to a high spiritual practice for you as we say our statement of giving together. Now we do this simultaneously in Spanish and in English. So I encourage you to unmute and we'll say the statement of giving in the language of your choice. So here we go. Abundance
flows in my life.
I
am blessed with prosperity. I give with generosity. Yes.
I
tithe on faith, belief, and with a consciousness of love. Is a divine circulation through me that now benefits and grows our spiritual community and beyond. And now it is.
Whoop, whoop. Whoops.
Thank you so much for that. And I invite you to mute your microphones and sing along as we prepare hearts and minds for our magnificent message.
I'm walking in the Spirit, walking in the Spirit, walking in the Spirit of one God, loving in the Spirit, loving in the Spirit, loving in the Spirit of one God, moving in the Spirit. Oh, I'm moving in the Spirit. Oh, the Spirit. Oh, God. Growing in the Spirit. Every day I'm growing in the Spirit. Growing in the Spirit. The Spirit. The Spirit. Oh, God. Growing in the Spirit. Growing in the Spirit. Growing in the Spirit. The Spirit of one God. Singing in the Spirit. I lift my voice and sing, in the Spirit. Oh, I lift my voice and sing, in the Spirit. Oh, the Spirit. The Spirit of one God. The Spirit of one God.
Good morning, everyone. I am so alive, awake, and aware right now. I love Sunny Day's music. I love the one life can change the world, and one life can change the world. You can change your life, and by effect of you being happy in that life, you change everything around you. And I think that the last song that we just sang, I wish I could sing like she does, and the vibration of just being open to let spirit move in and through us. I think that brings us to Vita Spiritual Learning Center with a global theme of living everyday wonder. I think that running is to walking what singing is to talking. It allows you to breathe fuller. It allows you to be more vibrant. And we want to live a vibrant life. And the theme is questioning everything. So I kind of got organic here and changed the opening of my talk because I want to ask you, what's in a name? What's in a name? What you call something has a vibrational match to it. It either allows you to remember that person or that thing in a great, loving response, or it allows you to think of things that aren't good, about like eating liver and onions. I used to love it when I was younger, but not so much now. I don't know why. I changed. But what is in a name? Question everything. So what is in the name Vita Spiritual Learning Center? Vida means life. Life, the life that sings through Sunny's voice and resonates through Sunshine's face, and it is what brings us together here. It is life. It is a spiritual experience. It is learning. Always be learning, laughing, loving. Put the L back in your word and create a world that is legendary, that you will leave a legacy for. And the center is at the center of your heart. Everything that we teach in Science of Mind is an inward journey. No one can do for you what you can and must do for yourself. Question everything. So what's in a question? A question comes with answers. You must ask in order to get an answer. There's nothing wrong with living life on default if your default is the life you want, but question everything. What comes with a question? Clarity. And you'll have to, not have to, I'm sorry, I tend to be a mom sometimes. The opportunity with asking a question is being still and listening for the clarity in the answer. And also it comes with options. You have choices. You always have choices. Life is always that choice. And I have a choice to live in the past, to worry about the future, or to be happy knowing that all my needs are met right here, right now. I get to look at how I'm talking to myself and what I'm making it mean. I question everything. And decisions. A decision comes when you ask questions. Decisions are opportunities, options, clarity, answers. Decisions gives you power. It gives you motivation in the direction that you want to take. And decisions not a one and done kind of thing. You make decisions throughout your life. Every answer creates a new opportunity that allows you to continue to evolve and grow. And also, what's in a question? The ability to engage in your life. Now that you decided, now that you saw what your options are, now that you've got some clarity, you get to take action in the direction of your dreams. That action creates an energy flow. It creates more creativity. It creates confidence, because confidence comes with accomplishment. So when you have an answer and you take action on it, it lets your nervous system know that you mean business, that I'm not one of the ministers at the conference Sunshine and Kevin and I were just at said, we're not going that way. We're going this way. Come on, let's go this way. When we have a clear vision, when we have the answers, when we see what the options are and we made that decision, it's clear to what the path is in front of us. We learn from the past. We prepare for the future, but the power is in right here, right now. What you decide to do with your life right here, right now is what's going to give you the enthusiasm, the spiritual energy to move forward in your life. So I'm knowing that I have to look at what questions am I asking? If I'm asking the question, what am I going to eat after service? I'm not here now, I'm already at breakfast. But if I look at why am I asking this question and I realize, well, I'm hungry and I really don't have plans for the date. So if I eat a big meal, I can rest and relax for later. These are my answers, my questions, okay? And I want to look at what questions are you asking? Why are you asking them? And then notice. Be the observer and be the observed. Who's asking these questions? You are. You are asking these questions to empower and keep you engaged and enthused in your own life. But what does that life look like? I have reinvented myself so many times in this world, sometimes by choice and sometimes by what just happens in life. I know that flexibility is the answer to all of the questions, but no matter what the question is, God is the answer. Ask yourself questions that empower you. Notice, are the questions I'm asking giving me curiosity and enthusiasm, or are they keeping me stuck? Why is this happening to me is not an empowering question. To look at this and go, okay, this is what's going on. What's next? If time and money weren't a concern, what would I be doing with this situation? The power is in the question. The quality that you ask, the questions you ask will create the quality of answers that you give it. So I know in the conference of living in the awe, living in the wonder, I had high highs and low lows. I was all over the place emotionally. And I had to look at this and I go, what keeps me falling in that hole? What kept me falling in that hole is I wanted it to be how it used to be. I missed how it was. And I can't undo what's already been done. So I must look at, with what I have now, what can I build from this? And you all may have heard this or not. I know I've heard it several times from different ministers, but the conversation of the person walking down the street, and as they're walking down the street, they fall in a hole. And they find themselves in the hole and they look around, they go, what happened? How'd I get here? You know, somebody help me. How did this happen? And they scream for help. And along comes a practitioner, along comes a class, a prayer partner, regular attendance at your center, or a suggested reading, and it helps get you out of the hole. But the next day presents the same opportunities to go out and explore the world. So the second time they're walking down the same street and they fall in the hole again. This time they're like, what just happened? How am I experiencing this again? I don't like being in a hole. Somebody come help me. So along comes a practitioner, a minister, a class, a prayer partner, regular attendance, reading. Hey, I heard journaling helps us observe our patterns. So maybe I could journal and see what my habits are. The third time they're walking down the street, the third day, and they fall in the hole again. And they think, this is enough. What am I doing? What am I doing that is making me fall in this hole? Or wait, maybe there's a better question. What must I do different? What must I do different that I'm not falling in the hole? And I've learned how to get out of the hole from the help of practitioners and classes and ministers and centers for spiritual living. I'm now know that I need to pay attention. What's happening? What choices am I making? What am I saying to myself, and what am I making it mean? For the consistency in this falling in the hole is I am the whole faller inner person here. So if I want a different experience, let me ask a different question. Let me think of things differently. On the fourth day, walking down the street, they notice a hole, they walk around it. That builds a good confidence. That makes you feel good. Hey, I noticed, I got around it. I saw it, I knew what it was, and I got around it. I avoided falling in my own hole. So the opportunity in that is the next day, the fifth day, they're walking toward the same street and they notice there's other options, there's other streets. They know the beauty that's calling from different streets, and they choose to have a different experience to see what that new inquiry, that new curiosity can bring. And they go down a different street in a different direction. This is what spiritual practices offer us. In one of the quotes that was offered, it says, I have no spiritual talent. I only have I am only passionately curious. And that's by Albert Einstein. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. The quality of my questions stir a curiosity in my spirit. Living is a spiritual practice. God is breathing us, God is living us. There is no way life cannot be spiritual, for life is spiritual. We co-create life through our thoughts, our words, our feelings, and actions. Life does not become spiritual when we stop to meditate or pray. Life simply becomes more of a choice of participating in that which we love, and it creates greater deepening feelings of connection. Life is living you 24/7. God is present all the time, everywhere, in everything, as everything, not just a practice we decide to do when we take a class or go to a spiritual center. We are lived, animated, sourced, and supplied with the breath of God. God is breathing us. It is one life, one power, one presence. And that one presence decided to live itself as me, as you, as Vita Spiritual Learning Center. We are the divine receptivity of God's love. We are life itself. We are not here to have God accept us as whole, complete, and perfect. God lives us as whole, complete, and perfect. We are here to discover that there is no separation. God is, I am, we are, life is. The beauty and the power and the presence of life is the love of God that is breathing each and every one of us. And my friends, we are more real in the vibration of life than we are in the temporary tangible. We are more than this. I remember taking a workshop a long time ago when I first started going to spiritual centers. And the title was along the lines, if thoughts are things, then what the heck am I thinking? And in that statement, it's not to make us wrong. It's to make us pause, breathe, and ask a question. Is what I'm thinking, is what I'm asking, is what I'm focusing on giving me the results in my life I want? Are my questions helping me in the direction I say my heart is taking me? My GPS. What the heck am I thinking? Well, it is through your questions you ask that design your life. Questions like, who am I? What's my purpose? Who do I wish to love? What is my legacy? Do I tell my story by my actions, by my feelings, by my words that I want to be remembered by? Or am I just a response center to what's happening in life? Am I going to leave it to chance? Gosh darn it, who do I want to be when I grow up? All are great questions to help develop you. Life does not require our participation, folks. Life will be life. Life is happening. However, life becomes more personal and more fulfilling when you focus the questions on connection. That any cell, any organ in the body that stops communicating to the rest of the body creates a dis-ease. Our opportunity in life is to create a better connection, a bridge of love with each and every one of us, that we can create a collective consciousness that life is love and it's self-fulfilling. When we do so, life flows easier. Choices are clearer and seeming miracles happen every day. There is wonder in every day, just waiting for us to live it. Miracles happen through our eyes that fix on that wonder. The heart that lives for love. The person in agreement with all that is possible. Science of mind is a philosophy that is open at the top. Ta-da! Don't be closed-minded. This means that if you continue to evolve and understanding of spirit and law continues to deepen and expand you. Let me say that again. I read this from the quote of the other person. Science of mind and spirit is a philosophy that is open at the top. This means that it continues to evolve as our understanding of spirit and law continues to deepen and expand. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. I am not the same person I was when I was a child living in my parents' home. I'm not the same person I was when I was married. I'm not the same person I was in my 20s, 30s. Well, you get the picture. I don't need to go to that top number. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. It is our connection. It is our perceptions. It is our words, thoughts, and actions that let us have a fulfilling life. Curiosity leads to creativity and innovation, as well as knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Our willingness to ask questions keeps us open at the top. Did you know that children under the age of 4 ask 200 to 400 questions a day? 200 to 400. What is this? What does it do? Can we go? A lot of questions. Where's daddy? Where's mommy? Where's this? Where's that? 200 to 400 questions. Up until the age of 12, a child asks 70 to 100 questions. After 12, it decreases to 20 throughout childhood. It is so amazing that the Bible says to remain childlike or be childlike to enter the kingdom of heaven. To be curious, to ask questions, to be in awe. Once we have a definition of something and once we decide what it is and what it means to us, we close off any possibility of seeing what it could be until we question our decisions. We question what we've decided, who we are and what we are in this world. We got to, well, there I go being a mom again. We're invited to go beyond the questions that we ask. 20 questions a day that are, what time is the meeting? Where's the movie playing at? And what do you want for dinner? These are questions that navigate the day, but the real questions is, who am I? What do I love doing? Who do I love doing it with? What blows this skirt up of mine? Or, you know, what I mean by that. God is the answer. No matter what the question, God is the answer. And the suggested video for this talk today was given. There's a young man named Eddie Watkins Jr. who sings a song called The Answer. God is the answer. Love is the way. Therefore, our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of principle, which of itself is without limit. So it is not a question of its willingness nor its ability. It is entirely a question of our receptivity. Breathe in. Breathe in right now. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Your breath in is the receptivity of God. Your breath is the contribution to the world. Ignite the curiosity that allows the circulation to flow in you and through you. That is why singing is so much better than talking, because you draw in and you use different parts of your voice to create emotions in the song. It's a beautiful way to live a life. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. That's by Albert Einstein. And as we go through life, know that as we do for ourselves, I like the song. I love the song, Use Me. And I love the significance, use me, oh God. Search me. What is mine to do? How can I be a beneficial presence on this planet? Number one, love who I am. Love God with all my heart. Love the choices I made. Forgive myself for my misperceptions and choose again. All of these things, the more you can fall in love with yourself, the more you fall in love with God. The more you fall in love with God, the easier it is to see God in everybody, in everything. It is the love that we are living. It is the breath we are breathing. It is the reason why we're here. Not to separate ourselves, but to connect ourselves, to see that we're individually expressing, but here for the same agenda, to be a beneficial presence on this planet, to be the arms of those who don't have, to be the voice of those that don't speak, to be the eyes of those that can't see, and to be the love of those that have forgotten how. We are being the tuning fork for all that is attracted in and around and through us. In the Bible, which prior to me becoming a minister was not something I read very often. Now it's one of the greatest reference books I have. And Paul and Silas were imprisoned for their belief in Christ and teaching of the love that is our life that we get to live. And while Paul and Silas were in prison and they were chained to the wall, they started singing hymns together and praying for the other prisoners, not for themselves, but for the freedom that it could help everyone that was in prison with them. And suddenly, an earthquake shook the prison. The doors became loose and the chains fell off. Not only them, but for everybody that was in the prison they were praying for. And Paul and Silas did not run to escape the prison. They stood there so that the correctional officers or the Roman soldiers or whoever was holding them in prison could see they were free by their faith and what they sang, what they chose to speak about, sing about, live about. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. And that's Lao Tzu. So I invite you just to take a moment and think about, who am I? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What can I give to myself that will fill me to overflow, that others may benefit? So taking a deep breath, I invite you to close your eyes, to simply breathe in the love of God, to simply breathe the power and the presence, and to know that life is living you, that love is expressing in and through you. And the veil in which you think you are, that love moves through. Surrender the veil. Let love express openly, freely, generously. There is no right or wrong, lest thinking make it so. Let God be God in you as you. I call forth the understanding of this talk for myself and others, knowing it is what I needed to hear, and for those ears that receive it. Thank you, God. Yes, more, please. Thank you that I myself do nothing, that the Spirit of God within me does the work, and I am the receiver of love, the giver of love. I generate with the power of my breath, with the power of my words, my focus, my emotions, the love of God that I wish to experience. Thank you, God. Yes, more, please. And with a breath of kindness and love for the spoken word, I simply release it, allow it, and let it be. And so it is. Thank you, loved ones, for letting me explore deeper what's in my heart and mind.
Now we
Thank
get
you,
to
Reverend
have,
Judy.
yeah, thank you so very much. Now we get to have our closing prayer, our closing song, and as Judy said, singing is singing is the highest form of speaking.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand.
Thank you so very much, and we look forward to seeing you right here next week for another inspirational message and meditation. Bye for now.